Okay guys, so in today's video I want to share with you some methods that I use to become more disciplined and more consistent and more focused on my goals, and actually quit a bunch of bad habits by simply making them better. There's a process to this that I want to share with you that is actually super powerful, but people just don't use it. So if you don't know me, I'm Sebastian. I help guys to actually become disciplined, confident, and in great shape, productive through my content. So let's get right into it. So the mistake that a bunch of people make, perhaps you as well, is that you have some goals, but they're not specific enough. It's just kind of mundane. You just say, oh, I want to get in shape for summer, or I want to want to get in shape, or I want to get this much work done, monk mode, or I want to get this much money or whatever online or physically. You get the point. Well, guess what? It's not specific enough. Why do you think all these people that want to just get in shape just quit? They get on a diet, they go work out and stuff, but then after a month or two they just quit. Why? Because they don't want it enough. Why? Because the goal is not specific enough, therefore it's not meaningful enough to them. It's just too general. You gotta make it specific and personal, right? So think about it. What if we actually go in detail and put some actual numbers on it, right? So let me tell you a story, right? I think, I don't know exactly when, but let's say a month or two ago, before that or so, more like that, I just wanted to get in better shape. And I was already in somewhat good, alright shape after the bulk and all that. I wanted to do my cut, but I didn't know exactly, specifically, at what point I wanted to get to, right? But then, and look, I didn't even make that much progress because of it, for real. But then, as I actually started to put some numbers on it, some goals specifically, that's when I started to get way more motivated and way more disciplined with my diet, also in the calories that I ate in the day and that I burned, right? For example, for walks, runs, you get the point. And I just got way better, began getting way better results, and I've been tracking them, and yeah, the cut is going pretty well. And so how did I do that? Well, I specified it. I specified, okay, I want to cut down to, let's say, 64.5 or 64 kilograms and be 12% body fat. That's specific. And it might be a bit less than 64. And yeah, sure, it's a bit kind of a low weight. Obviously, next time I got a bulk I want to bulk to maybe at least 70 or something, just slowly get my weight up. But the point is that you need to specify where exactly, at what point do you want to get, guys? Because that's where you make the goal meaningful to you. If it's just too general, you won't really care as much, right? You might say, oh, you really want it. Well, look, if it's actually super specific and achievable for you in that time frame, well, if you actually set yourself that goal and actually focus on it and specific with details, well, that will motivate you a lot more and will make you also way more disciplined. Because, if you watch Charlie Morgan, he said once, your behavior will be aligned to your very important, meaningful goal that is big, right? Because if you have a small goal, it won't really matter to you, and if it's not well defined, it won't really matter to you as much. But if you actually define it, it's actually way better. So how do you do this? Okay, guys, you need to do now. I'm about to tell you to do an exercise to do this technique basically. But you actually gotta go and do it. Because if you don't, you might say, oh, I can just do it later, or I can do it, I can just think about it. No, you gotta actually go and write it in a document or note something on your laptop or on your phone. Otherwise, you just won't make it because you're not serious. You want to become more disciplined, right? You want to become the guy who achieves those results, right? Well, then take notes on this. This is important. So, because I tell you guys, if you actually don't take notes on this and if you don't take action on this, you just won't make it. You're wasting your time right now, and you're kind of wasting my time too. I mean, I'm making this video for you, bro. I mean, come on. So think about it. open some notes in your laptop or phone and start noting down some categories or some areas you want to get way better in, and whatever goals you have, and make them way more specific. Go in detail and go specifically with statistics that you want to get to, right? So for example, let's say assume you need to bulk to 76 kilograms. You don't just say you want to bulk, you specify 76 kilograms by this time, let's say by the end of winter. You start in September, you end in winter or something like this. It's way more specific, right? It's way more, okay, the time frame, the goal is way more specific. This is actually way better for you to actually stick to. It actually is clever. You know exactly what you gotta do. And for example, for cut, right? I don't just say I want to cut, to just get in way better shape. I've been using I used to tell this to myself, just I want to get in way better shape, but I didn't really make that much progress. And guess why? It was because I simply did not set myself a specific target. I mean, if you don't, because look, if you don't know where exactly you want to get to, well, how are you going to get to that place, right? I mean, you gotta understand exactly what kind of shape you want to be in and what are the statistics. So I said to myself, okay, let's say around 64 kilograms, 12% body fat, lean, right? Cutting to that point. And that's simple, and specifically this summer. And of course, you gotta be careful. Don't necessarily try to cut or bulk too fast, right? Because that can be bad for muscle growth. I mean, for example, or let's say if you cut too fast, obviously this is just an example. You can do this in other areas too, but I'm talking about fitness here. If you cut too fast, well, obviously you can lose muscle, right? You gotta be careful. If you bulk too fast, you can add, or with too many calories, well, obviously you can gain more fat than necessary. You get the point. So likewise in other areas, you gotta be careful with the time frame and with how much volume you put in, to not mess the thing up. But basically, you gotta put yourself some kind of goal and a time frame or something, and just stick to it. Once you do this, you actually become way more disciplined, way more consistent with your activities to actually achieve that goal, because it's way more specific and way more meaningful to you at that point. So do you understand it? That's actually super valuable. So just go and take some notes right now and put some goals that you need to, right? Just go and do that. And this helped me a bunch to actually quit so many bad habits, because my goals were so meaningful to me and so much more important, so that actually, to the point that I actually quit the bad habits, even though they seemed pleasurable. Because think about it, my goals were way more important, and the bad habits were distractions, were just pulling me away. And I thought, well, no, I want to move forward, so I just cut them off. That's it. And another thing that can help you with this, to actually stick with your goals more, is to actually become the person who does that. I mean, you don't just do things, again, as Charlie said, you don't just achieve goals, you become the person that can achieve them. Because if you were the person who could achieve them, you would already have done it, if that makes sense. You get the point. Maybe there's some exceptions in terms of, yeah, sure, it still takes time and work, but still, you gotta become the person who can do it, right, consistently. So just update your identity. I have on the channel, I mean, your self-image and your standards. I have quite some videos on that topic, and I'm talking about that through some videos on the channel. You can go and search them up. But it's very simple, and you just tell yourself that, for example, let's say you want to get in, again, fitness example because it's simple, but you can do this with way more things. So let's say you want to get in great shape, you want to cut down to 65 kilograms, and be 12% body fat after the bulk. Well, you can tell yourself constantly throughout the day, multiple days in a row, basically each and every day, I'm a disciplined individual. I'm someone who is consistent with their workouts. I'm someone who trains hard, who loves the gym, who loves training or calisthenics, whatever you do, and I'm someone who's disciplined with his diet and so on. I'm disciplined with my diet. Say these affirmations over and over and over again, not just once, but over and over again. The reason why is because you actually brainwash yourself in a good way to change your beliefs in identity. Because the more you say something, the more you reinforce it. I mean, look at all the people that believe a bunch of stuff that is wrong. For example, propaganda or some random information. Remember all the times or sometimes when you believed something but then discovered it was not actually true. It was something wrong, right? Well then, it was not true, but you still believed it. So you acted accordingly to that belief. Do you see? So you can brainwash yourself in a good way into thinking that, and therefore you actually become that character. So it becomes true either way. And you might say, "Oh, but I don't know I don't know. I don't want to do this because it seems like a lie to myself." It's not a lie because you say it in the present moment. Yes, sure, in the past you messed up. Yes, I messed up too. But the point is, think about it. You say this right now. You right now are not doing that bad habit, for example. You right now are not inconsistent right now. I mean, in this second. That's what I mean, right? So we are telling this in the present tense. It's not a lie. If that bothers you, just know this, right? So you just tell yourself that, and each and every moment is a new moment. So yes, you have the choice to actually just choose to be this kind of individual, to be this person who now in this moment is disciplined with his workouts, who now in this moment is consistent. And so you just do this, and there you have it. And you tell this more and more to yourself until to the point at which you actually become the person who is that way. And therefore you achieve the results way faster, right? In that category. And you tell this to yourself hopefully every day for the rest of your life. It's not hard. You might say when we hear the rest of our life, just do this one thing, it seems hard, but it's actually not that hard. It's actually super simple. It's actually super beneficial. You'll love it. You'll love the results. That's for sure. And the thing is, this helps a lot. I mean, think about a laptop, right? If it has super bad components, it will operate very bad. That's like your subconscious mind and your standards and your self-image. But then if you get a new laptop, new standards, right? New self-image, new identity. If you get a new laptop with great components, well, guess what? It will operate amazingly well compared to that other one. So that's what you do, and you change your identity, and you run and you perform way better. That's the thing. That's the whole concept and the whole reason why we do this. And therefore, you'll become even more disciplined and even more consistent with all this. And if you want more help with this, I have more videos on the channel. And if you want an even more in-depth blueprint on how I actually became disciplined, confident, in way better shape, and how you can too, you can book a call with me, a coaching call with me. The link is in the description. For the first 10 guys, it's free. Yes, there are still spots left. And yeah, if you want help with that, I can actually go and give you my advice, my actual blueprint of what I've done to become way more disciplined, way more confident, way more consistent, and have way more self-respect, and so on. And remember, we're limitless because we'll never peak if you so choose to. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.